Hello, everyone. I'm Barbria DeÁnne, and welcome to the Story Beyond My Songs Viewer's Choice Update, where each week I shine a spotlight and tell you the full stories on the most viewed legacy shorts that touched your hearts, sparked your memories, and got the most love from you, the viewers. This week, your views chose powerful tributes to four unforgettable icons of soul. The genius behind Motown's greatest hits, honoring Norman Whitfield's anniversary. The Thrill Lives On, honoring B.B. King, the King of the Blues, an anniversary tribute. Cass Elliot, the voice that dreamed loudly, tribute on her anniversary. And Frank Reed, the voice who carried the Shy Lights legacy. These are your choices. These are your picks. So if you haven't already done so, please make sure you subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when I upload content. And without further ado, let's get into the moments that made last week so special. On September 16, 2008, the world lost a musical giant at the age of 68. But while he may be gone, his sound lives on forever. From Motown classics to psychedelic soul masterpieces, his music still echoes at cookouts, in films, on playlists, and deep within our hearts. On this day, we remember not just the man, but the timeless grooves he gave to the world. Today, we honor Norman Whitfield on the anniversary of his passing. May 12th, 1940, a genius behind the glass was born, and his name was Norman Jesse Whitfield. Norman Whitfield wasn't just a producer, he was a revolutionary. During his 25-year career, he didn't just make hits, he redefined what soul music could be. He co-wrote and produced some of the most unforgettable tracks in American music history. Ain't Too Proud to Beg, I Know I'm Losing You, I Heard It Through the Grapevine. Yes, that grapevine. Then came a new sound, a new direction. He led the Temptations into uncharted territory with songs like Cloud 9, Ball of Confusion, and the haunting masterpiece, Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Psychedelic soul wasn't just music, it was movement, social commentary wrapped in rhythm, and Norman Whitfield was right at the center of it. Alongside lyricist Barrett Strong, Whitfield formed one of the most powerful songwriting duos of the Motown era. In 2004, their contributions were officially honored with induction into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. And just when you thought he had done it all, Whitfield stepped out with his own label, Whitfield Records, and delivered yet another anthem, Car Wash, by Rose Royce. On September 16, 2008, Norman Whitfield passed away at the age of 68, but the music, it never left. It still plays at cookouts, in films, on playlists, and in our hearts. Rest in heavenly peace, Norman. Thank you for the grooves, the messages, the imagination. You didn't just make music, you made history.
Thrill is gone.
On September 16, 1925, in Ina Benna, Mississippi, the world was given a gift. Riley B. King, the man who would one day become the King of the Blues. With his soulful voice and unforgettable guitar style, he brought the blues to the global stage and gave us timeless classics like The Thrill Is Gone. His birth marked the beginning of a legacy that continues to shape music, inspire artists, and move hearts across generations. Today, we honor B.B. King on his heavenly birthday. Raised by his grandmother in Kilmichael, Mississippi, young Riley found solace in music, singing gospel at Elkhorn Baptist Church. At 15, he bought his first guitar for $15, inspired by the sounds of the Pentecostal church and blues legends like T-Bone Walker. In 1947, King moved to Memphis, Tennessee, where he gained exposure on WDIA radio as a singer and disc jockey. There he earned the nickname Bill Street Blues Boy, later shortened to B.B. B.B. King's guitar, affectionately named Lucille, became his signature companion. His unique style, characterized by fluid string bending and shimmering vibrato, set him apart and influenced countless musicians. King's breakthrough came with the 1951 hit 3 O'Clock Blues. In 1969, he gained further recognition, opening for the Rolling Stones on their American tour. His 1970 rendition of The Thrill Is Gone earned him a Grammy and solidified his place in music history. Throughout his career, B.B. King received numerous accolades, including 15 Grammy Awards and inductions into the Blues Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Beyond performing, King opened B.B. King's blues clubs in cities like Memphis and New Orleans, sharing his love for the blues with new generations. B.B. King's legacy continues to live on through his music and through countless artists he inspired. As he once said, "As long as people have problems, the blues can never die." And ain't that the truth? Rest in heavenly peace, B.B. Thank you for sharing your gift and Lucille. Today, we celebrate the golden voice of the mamas and the papas, and a woman whose music still inspires dreamers everywhere. Born on September 19, 1941, she gave the world timeless classics like California Dreamin', Monday Monday, and her unforgettable solo hits, Dream a Little Dream of Me, and Make Your Own Kind of Music. More than a singer, she was a symbol of determination, individuality, and heart, reminding us all to embrace our true selves and sing our own special song. Today, we honor Cass Elliot on her heavenly birthday. Born Ellen Naomi Cohen in 1941 in Baltimore, Maryland, she would become the powerhouse known as Mama Cass, a founding member of the iconic group the Mamas and the Papas. Their harmonies helped define the sound of the 1960s. Songs like Monday Monday and California Dreamin' weren't just hits. They became anthems of a generation seeking freedom, love, and a little sunshine through the haze. But Cass was more than just a harmony. She was a force of nature. When the group disbanded, she stepped boldly into the spotlight, launching a solo career that would bring us unforgettable tunes like Dream a Little Dream of Me and Make Your Own Kind of Music. Songs that reminded us that being different isn't just okay, it's powerful. Cass once said, "If you believe you have talent, the next thing you must have is determination." Cass knew the uphill battles. She didn't fit the mold of the traditional pop star, but her voice, unmatched. Her presence, magnetic. Her heart, bigger than the stage she stood on. Tragically, on July 29, 1974, while performing in London, Cass Elliot passed away from heart failure at just 32 years old. The world lost a songbird, one whose wings were just beginning to soar solo. But her message lives on. Make your own kind of music. Sing your own special song. To every dreamer out there, Cass is still whispering, be bold, be different, be you, even if nobody else sings along. Rest in heavenly peace, Mama Cass. Thank you for sharing your own special song with the world.
On the street and even at the picture show, have you seen her?
Born September 16, 1954 in Omaha, Nebraska, this guy was more than a voice. He was a vital bridge that carried the sound of the Chi-Lites into a new era. Frank was best known as the first replacement lead singer for the Chi-Lites, stepping into a role once held by the group's original frontman and songwriter, Eugene Record. Today, we honor the life and legacy of Frank Kevin T'Challa Reed on his heavenly birthday. In 1988, years after the group's heyday of classic hits like Oh Girl and Have You Seen Her, Frank Reed brought his own smooth, soulful style to the group, proving that the Shy Lights' music was timeless and still had the power to move audiences. Frank once said, "I've always enjoyed singing, and you could hear that truth in every note he delivered on stage. His voice carried the passion and dedication of someone who lived for the music." On a personal note, I had the opportunity to meet Frank in Atlanta when he was performing with the Shy Lights. Meeting him wasn't just meeting a singer, it was meeting a man who carried on a legacy of soul, harmony, and Chicago history. He was warm, genuine, and his presence reminded me of why the Shy Lights music has touched so many lives across generations. Sadly, Frank Reed passed away on February 26, 2014, but his contribution ensured that the Shy Light sound didn't fade. It evolved, reaching new fans while still honoring the group's original spirit. So today, on what would have been his birthday, we celebrate Frank Reed, a man who stepped into big shoes and wore them with pride, keeping the heart of the soul of the Shy Lights alive. Rest in harmony, Frank Reed. Your voice and spirit live on. And there you have it, folks. Last week's Most Loved Stories now told in full for you to relive, remember, and cherish. If you enjoyed these moments, don't forget you can catch my weekly shorts right here on Barbria DeÁnne to vote with your views on next week's picks. And for deeper dives and full stories, make sure you subscribe to the Story Beyond My Song channel or become a member of this channel to view upcoming stories and classic songs where the music lives on in more than just a memory. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more stories beyond the legends that have shaped our lives. Until next time, keep the music alive by checking out this next video. Bye.